rich colour from the Smyrnium contrasting to the mahogany crimson colour of the tulip and the wallflower. So I've picked some really simple things based on Dom Pedro as the tulip. And the first is this wonderful triennial. Triennial is a kind of amazing, weird thing that isn't a biennial. It does it every 3 years. So the seed germinates, but it doesn't actually flower for 2 years after the seed germinating. And this is one of the greatest plants, I think, because it grows in sun or really proper shade, and it brings this lovely kind of euphorbia, bright, bright green into a spring garden. It's really reliable and will actually last 2 weeks in a vase, but you do just need to sear the stem ends in boiling water, which is what I'm doing here. So just 3 or 4 seconds and then into cold water to stop it cooking. So any of the leaves are going to be below the water level need to go, like that. And I first came across this plant in Crete, where you'll see it in the spring all over the roadsides, into shade in woods. And so you'll see it in really, really baking hot sun and in really cold, shady places. So it's one of the most versatile plants, and self-seeds, I love it. And I love it for spring flower arranging. And of course, unlike euphorbias, it doesn't have that milky sap, which if you get it in your eye, really is very, very painful. So I'm going to start with Smyrnium perfoliatum as what I call my primary foliage, which is like the structural plant. And it's literally like a living sieve, but I'll talk about that when I'm actually doing the arranging. I've also picked some lovely blood red wallflowers, and these also benefit from searing. They just last that little bit longer. And sometimes I'll actually put a little drop of clear vinegar in the water because it stops bacterial reproduction. And the thing about wallflowers, as they're in the brassica family, and so they can get quite pongy in flower water. And so by putting clear vinegar in, you decrease bacterial reproduction, and the bacteria are what gnaw away at the end of the stem and create that kind of slime and that sort of horrible gunky flower water. And so by acidifying and changing the pH of your flower water, you just make them last 2 or 3 days longer. And so those I'm going to sear as well. And they just have a little bit longer. And I'm just dislodging any air bubbles. So that's why I'm knocking them on the bottom of the mug. So boiling water into a mug. And if I was doing tons, I would reboil the kettle so it's still properly kind of really, really hot. What that searing does is it exposes more of the xylem in the stem end to absorb water. And that's just like our whole cardiovascular system. It's the same. It's a circulatory system. And you have more of it exposed to the water, so it prolongs the vase life really simply. With the tulips, I'm literally, can you see I'm taking all the leaf off, which feels a bit brutal, but honestly, you don't want anything below the waterline. And anyway, it's kind of getting past its best. So there we are, pretty much all processed now. And that didn't take long. And so ready to arrange very, very simply in water. And with these, having processed them like this, they'll give me a week of vase life. With bulbs, you don't sear them. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. There is one bulb you do sear, which is a bluebell. And they are totally transformed by searing. And I know everyone feels you should never pick a bluebell, but you can pick them from your own garden. And if you sear them, they last 10 days in the vase. But so you don't sear bulbs and you don't sear tulips. But can you see I'm quite carefully tidying up the stem because that's where bacteria start to build up. And it's important that you don't have any tissue like that to encourage bacterial buildup. I'm not searing them, so I'm just tidying them. And then once I start arranging, so I've got my vase here, and I'm going to talk about this vase in a minute and why it's so brilliant. But before I do, I just put a good slurp of clear vinegar into the water. And what that does is it decreases bacterial reproduction. It's bacteria that eat away at the stem end of lots of fleshy things, but particularly tulips. And they then make that slime which blocks water uptake, so the tulip flower dies. So it's as simple as that. So just by acidifying your water, you prolong the vase life of your bulbs. So on to arranging, couldn't be simpler, because I'm using this particular vase, which we call our narrow vase, and it is utterly brilliant for 3 reasons. First reason is, can you see that there is a hole like the hole in the polo? And so with the Smyrnium, I've just got 3 stems, and by slotting them in, kind of evenly distributed into the hole in the polo, using each stem and crossing it over so it forms a kind of grid. And so can you see I've got a perfect foliage base? How easy was that? It took less than a minute or a few seconds. And then into that I've got the wallflower, which is going to give lovely scent. I can just tuck that into the foliage of the Smyrnium. Let's just get this one going almost horizontal. And then I can just tuck it into that ledge there. Do you see? And it's held by the belly there. And so it comes out and holds it. So I've got the Smyrnium as my foliage base. In goes the wallflower as the next bit of colour, texture and scent. And using that ledge to hold the stem. And that way, I certainly don't need to use oasis, which is an absolute no-no these days because it's made from microplastic. But I don't even have to use one of those things called a pin holder, which are those very heavy metal kind of weights with lots of pins on them. And you can use those in a vase like this, but you would see it. So that's why I love the narrows so much, because I can just thread them through under that ledge and it will just hold it without the need for any more support. And even if I'm going bang into the middle now, I can just thread that through the other stems that are quite secure, and that will just stay vertical in the middle of the vase. So then I just move on to my Dom Pedros and literally just slot them in. And they kind of harmonise with the colour of the wallflower. So I've got rich colour from the Smyrnium contrasting to the rich mahogany crimson colour of the tulip and the wallflower. I've got scent from the wallflower, and all of them with the searing have got fantastic longevity. And there we are. So really simple, 12 stems of Dom Pedro, 3 of Smyrnium perfoliatum, and 4 or 5 of the lovely scented wallflower.